I now invite Sri Anand Krishna to come and give his presentation. He will be speaking on Hita Karana, the indigenous wisdom of Bali. Swami Anand Krishna is an Indonesian spiritual humanist of ethnic Indian origin and a prolific writer. He has been striving to create an enlightened society by working on inner peace, developing communal love and harmony, and realizing global oneness with his motto, one earth under one sky and in one humankind. Anand Krishna stands firm on his mission, unperturbed by life's trials and turbulences. Through Anand Ashram Foundation, affiliated to the United Nations, Anand Krishna has inspired several other social and educational organizations. The fourth president of Indonesia, Abdur Rahman Wahid, recognized his contributions and said, "If we want to have peace, then we must hear what Anand Krishna is saying." I think that is so profound, and we are fortunate to hear Anand Krishna here. Over to Sri Anand Krishna.
Thank you. Namaste, namaskar. From yesterday, my looks have misguided many people. They either start speaking in Kannada or in Tamil. I'm very sorry. My Hindi is also limited. I was born in Indonesia 62 years ago. My father had gone there in 1930s from Sindh. Then it was undivided India. And when partition happened, the whole family came there and I was born there. But let me make it very brief. Before I go to my presentation, why I'm here. I must first of all convey my gratitude to Puja Shri, the Dharmadhikari of Dharmasthal, and the entire team of Bhavans. It's an honor to be here, speaking to you all. Friends, 28 years ago, and this is why the subject, belief beyond evidence, these three words, keywords, are very important. I'm the evidence. 28 years ago, I was dying of leukemia, blood cancer. I was at the top of my material career. I was working for more than 15 years. I started very early. I studied, did my BBA, MBA while working. And after 15 years of hard work, marketing director in a multinational company with 2,000, 3,000 people working under me, at the end of the day, here I was with 200 machines and I was a garment manufacturer. It was an achievement. It was an achievement. I was happy. Everything was going on quite all right. I was a marketing man and I had a very good support from my clients from overseas. The factory was already exporting from the second month, which is, if you know garment industry, it's not possible, but it was possible. 1 year later, one day I was brushing my teeth and I had blackout, went to the hospital, leukemia, advanced stage. And my doctor was the head of the presidential team. It was very difficult to get hold of him, to get appointment with him. 1 year, 1991, in and out of hospital. Every time I come out of hospital, I was in a worse condition. I have a guru in Bengaluru, Bharatiya. I came to him, Satya Sai Baba. He said, "You're all right, go back." I met Śukā Nādi here, go back. But going back was no solution. My HP level, if there are some doctors here, recorded the lowest was 1.7. I should be lying on the hospital bed, and I was traveling. I was going for medication to Singapore, here in the cancer hospital, I forgot the name, in Bengaluru, Indonesia. Every time I come out of hospital and I was not responding to chemotherapy, One day, in front of the jail here, there's a Buddhist vihara. I used to go there for meditation in the evening, Sunday evening. And I met with this monk, a lama from Tibet. He said, why don't you come to Leh? At my condition, it was improbable. I didn't think that it would be possible for me to go to Leh. But I was just being nice. Okay, I said, fine, I'll try to come. He left Bangalore. 2 days after that, I made arrangement, no e-ticket that time, and that was good. Made arrangement to go to Leh. End of November, 1991. It was an early snow in Leh. Flights were not that regular like now. And you know, Leh is the shortest runway in the world, yeah? Anyway, I got there, and I got down of the taxi. He had given me the name of the monastery where he'll be, and that monastery was the trigger to take me to Leh. The monastery was Himis. And I'd heard that Himis was a monastery where Jesus was reported to have been. So that was the trigger point. If I'm dying, I might as well see this place first. As I got down from the taxi, I just remember, it occurred to me, I had never asked the name of this monk, how to find him. You know, when you have leukemia, there's no oxygen supply to your brain. You can forget things. You simply forget things. I got down, no name, and as I got down, have you been to Leh? Anybody has been to Leh? Have you been to Himis Monastery? Yes? Right. So Himis Monastery in 1991, this was not renovated. I was there last year. It is totally renovated now. But at that time, there was a very old staircase, and as I was getting down from the taxi, going towards the staircase, there this monk was there on top. The first thing he told me was, you have chosen a right place to die. You have lived, how old I was, 35, 36. You have lived for 30 plus years, let's die now. 1 week talking. When I was there 8 years ago, he had put me not in the monastery, he had put me in a small hut outside the monastery, and we have the documented things. We had taken photographs and the video of that, but now that hut is a guest house. Last year I was there. Anyway, 1 week later he told me, go back. I said, that's it? He said, yes. If you die here, I cannot take care of your dead body. I'm a simple monk. Came back to Indonesia, my doctor told me, if you are going around the world, don't come back to me. If you want to die, don't die on me. Don't come back to me. I said, no, please give me the last blood transfusion. I was living on blood transfusion. Every week I needed blood transfusion. Blood transfusion, meantime, I sold my factory. Well, not sold. It was taken over by the banks, mortgage and all that. At the end of the day, in 1991, I was left with $5,000-6,000 US, and that's it. Told my wife, this is all the money I have. We have to move out of this house. The house has to go to take care of my debts and all that. But I don't want to leave any debt. This is all the money we could still buy. In 1991, in Indonesia, we could still buy a one-bedroom apartment. So this is it. I'm leaving you and I'm dying. I'm ready to die. 1 week later, I was well. I was healed. I got up in the morning and I saw my palms. My palms were all ashen. For 1 year, there was no blood. All ashen, just white. And I just saw my palm and there was blood. It was pink, like this. There was a turning point. My banks came back to me, my partners came back to me, let's do business again. I said, no. Let me do something else now. So here I am. So this is the evidence. But why my presentation? While I was in Leh, in Himis, I saw one statue. And this statue, there was a name there which hit me. And so mysteriously appearing in Hindi, which I could read a bit, not in Tibetan script. and it was written Dharmakirti Swarnadwipa. Now, I know Swarnadwipa is the old name for Sumatra, one of the islands of Indonesia. We have got 17,000 islands. So when I say we, please for some time, for next 20 minutes, consider me as Indonesian, okay? Don't go by my looks. So that made me study more about Indonesia, what Indonesia is, what it was. 1,200 years ago, a Bengali scholar, Pandit. But by the way, in the meantime, after I was healed, I went to lay many times, could not find that monk again. And when I met Dalai Lama, first time I met him in 1995, 4 years after I was healed, he asked me particularly about my experience. And when I told him, he started laughing. He said, have you been looking for him? I said, yes. And he started laughing. You know, belly laughter, if you have seen Dalai Lama, when he laughs from his belly. So he started laughing. He said, no, you'll not find him. So he kind of implied, he gave me an impression that he knew that this was one of the Siddhas in the Himalayas. You have so many Siddhas. Studying about Indonesia, very amazing. 1,000 years ago, people traveling from China would come to Swarnadwipa, to Sumatra, to learn Sanskrit. We had Sanskrit institutions there. We have Sanskrit texts which we are now translating, retranslating them. And the Sanskrit is a little bit different than the Sanskrit in India. Swarnadwipa, Atisha, a Bengali scholar, had gone to Indonesia to learn meditation from an Indonesian teacher called Dharmakirti. And this Dharmakirti then came to India and died in India. Atisha came back to India, and his meditation is the most popular meditation among the Tibetans. It is called Tonglen. Tonglen means, and that was my healing point also, do not run away from negativity. Accept negativity, acknowledge negativity, and then process it, turn it into positivity. It's the same message of Upanishads, to look into the nature of things. So it's not about positive thinking, it's about positive attitude. And positive attitude means also to accept the negativity. And that made me realize that Indonesia, yes, next please. If you see here, you see all those light green. This, if you take the picture from satellite, you know that Indonesia, right now 17,000 islands, they were not separated. They were all hooked to the mainland of India. We were all one land. We were all one land. And there are so many scholars now writing about this. If you see this, you can read. The archaeological evidence confirm the origin of civilization and even of humanity itself in the Indies, that is India and Indonesia. And it would not be appropriate to even call it India and Indonesia. Perhaps we should go back to the old term, that is Jambudvipa. So we were all one. So the idea that Indonesia imported Hinduism from India is wrong. That we were all one, and we all had the same roots, same cultural and civilizational roots. And you see now how big, how large is that landmass? All of that. Yes, next please. I have written extensively on this. Southeast Asia, the source of the elements of Western civilization. I have written many books on this subject. Before going further into what I wanted to say. Yes, next please. Do we have someone in this audience whose name is Ghatotkach? There is a hero who saved the Pandavas named Ghatotkach, and he is documented in Mahabharata. And how come we do not have a single child named Ghatotkach? In Indonesia, Gatot is the most common name until today. And we firmly believe that Ghatotkach, Hadimba, or Arimbi we call her, the mother of Ghatotkach was a Javanese, perhaps Sumatran. She was born in Indonesia. And that's why Gatotkac is very, very famous. That is the Indonesian version of Gatotkac from the puppets and all that, okay? Next. So if you see now, this shape, yeah, it reminds you of Sund, the trunk of the elephant. And therefore this whole region was called Sund. The foreigners call it Sunda land. But we in Indonesia forgot all this history. We all forgot this history. Now we are doing a lot of research and we are trying to rewrite the history. This is one of the very beautiful prayer. I'm writing just the translation. It comes from my colleague, Maya's homeland, that is Sunda. The mountains may not be destroyed. The rivers may not be polluted. The ancestral injunction should not be forgotten. Revere trees and revere the forest. Pose no harm to any of them. Otherwise, all living beings shall certainly suffer. This is the subject of Professor Andrew's presentation earlier. That Sarvavyapi, you do some harm to somebody. I am honored to have Pujya Shri Dharmakirti ji here. To harm anything is to harm the entire humanity. Next, please. We have this, the divine guardians, couple. We call her Devi Sri and Sadhana. Devi Sri is Sri Devi, not the celebrity who just died. But we call her Sri Devi, Bhumi, Devi, Sri. There we do it the other way, Devi Sri. And Sadhana has all the attributes of Vishnu. So it's Vishnu and Lakshmi. Can you see, it's very interesting. We used to have our notes, government notes, with all this from 1960s. But until 1970s, 75, we had currency with Ganesha. You won't find it in India, right? Okay, next. Hita Karana. Hita Karana, of course, this is a Sanskrit word. And this word was coined in 1962, around 62. There was an Arya Samaji, Pandit Narendra Shastri. He came to Indonesia in 1950s and he kind of revived Hinduism in Bali. But the original wordings are Parahyangan, that's man's relation with the divine forces actually. Pavongan, man's relation with fellow human beings. Palamahan, man's relation with the environment. Lamah means weak. So the environment includes animals actually. Animals are weaker, so we have to have compassion towards them. We do not kill them. We have compassion. Pavongan, man and man, man to man. We are at the same level, so we must have equality. For the animals, we must have compassion. For among human beings, fellow human beings, we must have equality. And Parahyangan, there should be reverence. There should be reverence towards the higher forces. And again, all these are within us also. So there is Alit Bhuana, there is a microcosmos, there is a microcosmos. And all these are within us. What is outside us is also within us. So when we have weaknesses in our being, we have to be compassionate towards that, and on and on. And then I must also tell you about one of the very famous phrase in Indonesia and Bali is Ashtabrata. We call it Asta Brata. Asta Brata, I yet have to find a source in India. This is supposed to be a discussion between Ram and Vasishtha. But it is not in Yoga Vasishtha. I found, maybe I didn't find the right one, but I haven't really found the exact things. Here, next, before Rama goes out of the school, out of her Gurukul, Vashishth is telling him, you must learn from nature. You have finished your schooling in Gurukul, but from now onwards, let nature be your teacher. And the first thing he says is learn from the sun, Surya, also called Surya in Balinese, in Javanese, shines and shares light with one and all. It does not discriminate. Yeah? Second one is Chandra. Takes on sun's role in the dark. When there's darkness, the Chandra is there to show you the way. So learn from Chandra. Even though the economy is very low, everything is going bad, still shine on, still hang on, persistence. Third one is Tarak. Taraka, we call it Taraka. We pronounce it Taraka. Taraka is star. And this is about the North Pole star, yes. So guide those who are straight. If somebody is going along the wrong way, you must guide. The North Pole star until now is being used by the ship, what do you call this? The sailors. Yeah, the sailors are still using it. Where your compass is not working, they follow the North Pole, So even though things are going bad, you still persist, and you also find you do not let anybody go astray. You help them. The fourth one is Bhumi. Patient, ever giving through, though trample upon. Even if somebody does wrong to you, keep on giving. They do anything bad, you still, because that should be your nature. So my guru used to tell me that you should be loving. When you say, I love you, something is wrong. You should be loving, full stop, period. And then you love everybody. Love should be your nature. And if you love me, you may not love him, love her. So love should be the nature. This is about Bhumi. Fifth one, learning from Varuna. Varuna is Varun. Yeah? In Indonesia is Varuna, water. And water, the understanding of water is also my parents, my father came from Sindh. And the Sindhis have this Ishtadevta. If you know, Varuna is the Ishtadevta of Sindhis. You call him Julelal. Yeah? So Julelal, also in Leh, when they greet each other, Jule. Are you still dancing? It's a beautiful greeting. Are you still dancing? In China, if you go to China, the greeting China? Ni hao. Are you still there? In France, you go to France, are you dressed up properly? Are you still dancing? Go against the tide, not only going with the flow. If you must go against the tide, go even against the tide. Follow the water. When there is a rock, huge rock, the water finds its way. It doesn't stop. Finds its way. And then sixth one, Ashtabratas, of course, 8, yeah. Learning from fire, purifies, cleanses. And all these, I've written a book in Indonesian, all these are actually management skill. And I've connected it with business, with executives. That was my previous experience. To recycle. And then seventh, learning from Vayu. Vayu is Vayu, wind, air. Ability to penetrate anything. A small hole, small seal, get in. Whether you don't have to wait until you have a big investment or something. No, a small investment. Try something. Try something. Number 8. Learning from Samudra. To be expansive. Samudra. Expansive. And to ever grow in expansion. Do not stop. Before I go to the last slide, I would like to invite our ashram trustee, one of our ashram trustees, Maya. She will show you the technique that was learned by Atisha 1,200 years ago in Swarnadwipa, which he brought back to India. And since Atisha became more popular in Tibet, so this technique is more popular in Tibet now. The Dalai Lama told me this is the technique he does every day. And that's why he said we have got very good relation with Indonesia even from those days. And he says, this is how I keep forgiving the Chinese. So it is not about taking positivity from outside, but taking all the negativities from outside and taking it to your heart. It's a technique. You don't do it at home, please. But we would like to show you, if your heart is weak, then it is really going to be processed. So all the negativities in the form of energy is taken here, processed, and then spread it out as positivity. Negativity in, positivity out, not the other way around. Yeah, so she'll show you in just 2 minutes. Please don't do it, just see. Yeah?
Aku menarik semua kebatilan yang ada di sekitarku. Dan aku mengolahnya menjadi kebajikan. Dan kusebarkan kembali ke seluruh penjuru.
So simple. Okay, maybe once is all right. Thank you.
Rahayu.
So, Rahayu is, how would you translate Rahayu?
Rahayu means peace, actually.
Peace, okay. This is an old Japanese term for peace. You can really feel the energy, the negative energy. So if you have a weak heart, then you don't do it. But we have tried this on several occasions when there was a need for this kind of practice, and we did it, and 100% success rate. That is, maintaining peace in a total city, in a whole country. In 1998, we had a big problem there with riots and all that. And within 3-4 days, we did this, everything peaceful. In 1965, the riots went on for months, similar riots. 1998 was just 3 days. Anyway, friends, once again, I am very much grateful to all of you, to Puja Shri, the Dharmadhikari of Dharmasthal, and to Bhavan's, the whole team. Thank you very much. Namaste. Oh yes. So this is when she was spreading her hands. She's telling that I take all the negativities from all around me, and I bring it to myself. And I'm trying to, I recycle it, and I spread it back in the form of positivity. Very simple. Okay.
Thank you, Sri Anand Krishna, for reinforcing our faith in the system of faith and belief. You took us to another world, showing us what faith and belief actually means and how it is practiced. I request Sri Ramanujam to kindly come and honor Sri Anand Krishna.
These are translated from the Indonesian text, very old text, Dharma Shastra, Jnana Shastra, and Yoga Shastra. Thank you very much.